Good evening, friends. You are most welcome to Thinkai's channel. Today we are discussing the Kurukshetra magazine. Our topic is a step towards health security. The author is Dr. Santosh Jain Pasi and Akansha Jain. It is imperative to understand that health security and human security are directly linked to each other. An unhealthy individual or society is likely to make the community insecure, which in turn would impinge upon the national security. Thus, all national governments need to prioritize and address the health security risk at the earliest. Health security capacity in every country should be closely monitored, and the surveillance results should be published at least once in every 2 years. This is a need to curtail political and socio-economic risk factors that can impede the actions or activities related to the management of outbreak, including the conflict zones. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. WHO 1948. A healthy, happy, and well nourished citizenry is the prerequisite for a healthy nation. All over the world, we have been, we are, and it is very likely that we will continue to face massive outbreaks that most of the countries in the past could not. Now they are not able to, and in future they may not be in a position to handle properly. In addition to climate change and urbanization, international and national level travel, mass migration or displacement now happening in nearly every corner of the globe create conditions favoring an emergence and spread of various pathogens. In addition, there is an increased potential threat of accidental or deliberate release of deadly engineered pathogens which could cause even greater harm than the natural occurring pandemics. The irony is that the same scientific advances which help to fight epidemic diseases sometimes allow certain pathogens to be engineered or recreated in the laboratories causing deadly diseases. The World Health Organization or WHO has defined global public health security as the activities required, both proactive and reactive, to minimize the danger and impact of acute public health events that endanger people's health across geographical regions and international boundaries. Health security does not exist in isolation. It is dependent on food and nutrition security, economic or financial security, as well as the social support and many other factors. It requires safe and healthy environment, good infrastructure for physical activity, and an all around or an all round security, including psychological aspect for the individuals to lead a healthy, happy, and contented life. National health security is fundamentally a weak link all around the world. None of the nations is fully prepared to handle epidemics or pandemics. Every country has many of its major gaps to be addressed for amicably handling the adverse situation arising out of such incidents. Disparities in the nation's capacities and a lack of attention by the leaders exacerbated the preparedness gaps towards the biological threats. India's national health policy, framed in 1983, was reformulated by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in 2017 to address the current emerging challenges necessitated necessitated by the changing socio-economic and epidemiological conditions. It focuses on prevention and promotive health care and the primary health care, which is comprehensive and universal. It promotes patient-centric approach, providing quality care, intersectoral convergence, as well as easy access, affordability with appropriate use of technology as its silence feature. In India and in other countries too, the COVID 19 pandemic has dressed up The issue of health security, which denotes the protection of national populations from global pandemic threats. Hence, COVID 19 prevention and management mandated India to prioritize health security at the cost of economic security. The government has wisely formulated the policies to serve the urgent human needs without compromising economic security beyond a temporary phase while limiting the adverse impact of COVID 19. In the absence of suitable vacancies or treatment, a densely populated country like India had to and needs to prevent the spread of this disease at any cost. Hence, the Prime Minister outlined the four major pillars of healthcare which need to be focused: preventive health care, affordable health care, improvements in the supply of equipment and medicine, mission mode interventions. Realizing the country's healthcare system will not be in a position to handle the explosion of cases, the government took a globally acclaimed early decision to prioritize health security during the first phase of COVID-19 war. Inspired by the three P's: precaution, prevention, and protection, restrictive measures were taken January to February 2020, even before WHO declaring it's a global pandemic. Along with strict social distancing norms, a complete lockdown 23 March to 3rd May was imposed in the country to prevent the catastrophic stages 3 of the pandemic, the community spread. Simultaneously, arrangements were made for upscaling of rapid testing, citizens empowerment, contact tracing through Arogya Setu app, quarantine, dedicated hospital facilities, and Ayushman Bharat coverage. India joined global efforts in pursuing the development of vaccine and therapeutics on war footing. Under the Atmanirbhar Bharat package, Government of India decided to provide free of cost food grains rupees 5 kg per person per month for 2 months, May June 2020, to nearly 8 crore migrant laborers who are not covered under NFSA, National Food Security Act, or the PDS scheme, Public Distribution System scheme. Under this package, the all India allocation of food grains nearly 8 lakh metric ton at an estimated total cost of about 3500 crore rupees is fully to be borne by the government of India. It is imperative to understand that health security and human security are directly linked to each other. An unhealthy individual or society is likely to make the community insecure, which in turn would impinge upon the national security. Thus, all national governments need to prioritize and address the health security risk at the earliest. Health security capacity in every country should be closely monitored, and the surveillance results should be published at least one in every 2 years. There is a need to curtail political and socio-economic risk factors that can impede the actions or activities related to the management of outbreak, including the conflict zones. India's Global Health Security Index score is 46.5, and out of 195 nations, the country ranks 57th. Global Health Security Index Report 2019. In India, the cost of treatment has been accelerating, which has led to in inequities in access to healthcare services. The nation spends only 1.28% of its GDP 2017-18 as public expenditure on health. Per capita public expenditure has gone up to from 621 rupees 2009-10 to 1657 rupees 2017-18. The center state share in total public expenditure on health was 37 is to 63 in 2017-18. Figure 1: public health expenditure as percentage of GDP across World Bank income groups 2016, Global Health Expenditure Database WHO. High income countries 5.61, upper middle income countries 3.97, lower middle income countries 2.43, lower income countries 1.57, India 1.17. It is Global Health Expenditure Database in percentage of GDP. As per the India State Level Disease Burden Initiative 2017, the disease burden due to communicable, maternal, neonatal, and nutritional diseases as measured by Disability Adjusted Life Years DALY dailies dropped from 61% 1990 to 33% 2016. On the other hand, disease burden due to NCD non-communicable diseases increases from 30% 1990 to 55% 2016. The epidemiological transition Epidemiological transition, however, varies widely among Indian states 48 to 75% for non-communicable diseases (NCDs) and 14 to 43% for infectious and associated diseases and 9 to 14% for injurious. The augmenting healthcare in India, the government has recently announced an emergency healthcare package of 15,000 crore rupees for strengthening the personal protection equipment PPE kit for medical healthcare professionals and increasing the number of isolation wards and ICU beds and the training of medical and paramedical manpower. In addition, it was proposed to increase the number of testing laboratories 300 around, manufacture of PPEs, face masks, 2 by 3 ply surgical mask, N95 mask, and hand sanitizer, as well as the creation of over 800 dedicated COVID hospitals. Further, the import of ventilators, PPE kits, face or surgical masks, COVID 19 test kits have been exempted from basic custom duty and health cess. A public charitable trust, Prime Minister's Citizen Assistance and Relief in Emergency Situation Fund (PM CARES Fund) has been created to address the issue relating to emergency or distress situations and calamities, be these man-made or natural. Ayushman Bharat, Government of India's flagship scheme, recommended by the National Health Policy (NHP) 2017, was launched to achieve the vision of universal health coverage UHC, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana PMJAY Ayushman Bharat. It has been designed to meet the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs and underlining commitment, leave no one behind. It attempts to move from sectoral or segmented approach to a comprehensive need-based healthcare service delivery. Further, it aims to undertake path-breaking interventions to holistically address the healthcare system, covering prevention, promotion, and ambulatory care at the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. It adopts a continuum care approach comprising of two interrelated components: Health and Wellness Center (HWCs) to deliver comprehensive primary health care (CPSC), bringing healthcare closer to the residents of masses. These centers cover both maternal and child healthcare services as well as non-communicable diseases and provide free essential drug and diagnostic services. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana PMJAY is the world's largest health insurance or assurance scheme fully financed by the government. It provides coverage of 5 lakh rupees or INR per family per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization across public and private impanel-led hospitals in the country. Within a period of 2 years, this initiative has impacted the lives of more than 1 crore people. To date, more than 20,700 HWCs have become operational, are providing services across the country. Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, a relief Package of 1.70 lakh crore rupees was declared on 26 March 2020 for the poor to help them fight against coronavirus. Under this package, Women Jan Dhan account holders 20 crore rupees around to get 500 rupees per month for the next 3 months. Nearly 80 crore people, 80 crore poor people to get 5 kg wheat or rice and 1 kg of pulses and other food items free of cost every month for the next 3 months. 8 crore poor families to be provided free of cost LPG cylinders of the 3 months with effective framework 1st April 2020. Increase in Manrega wages from 182 rupees per day to 202 rupees per day, benefiting nearly 13.62 crore families. Insurance cover of 50 lakh rupees per health workers fighting COVID-19 to be provided under the insurance scheme. Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana promotes the use of LPG, keeping in view its health benefits, particularly women and children, environmental safety, and enhanced economic productivity of women. By May 2020, nearly 804 lakhs LPG connection clean cooking fuel have already been given to poor households. Poshan Abhiyan, National Nutrition Mission (NNM). It is the Prime Minister's overarching scheme for holistic nutrition to improve nutritional outcomes of the children, pregnant women, and nursing mothers. Under this Abhiyan's home-based young child care programs, ASHA workers are to be make 5 additional visits to the home of children aged up to 15 months to especially counsel on nutrition and early childhood development. For this initiative, 217 crore rupees has been sanctioned to the states and union territories. Poshan Abhiyan, PM's overreaching scheme for holistic nourishment, Sahi Poshan, Desh Roshan. This is the program. Similarly, for the Anemia Mukt Bharat programs under Poshan Abhiyan, 425 crore rupees has been allocated by Government of India to all states and union territories for implementing the test, treatment and counseling of anemic patients so as to achieve the 3% reduction in anemia. Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. This scheme provides cash incentives to pregnant women and nursing mothers to improve health outcomes of the mother and the newborn. Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan is conducted on the 9th of the every month like Pulse Polio Abhiyan and Pulse Polio programs, and within 3 months nearly 9.64 lakh antenatal checkups have been conducted to ensure dignified motherhood. 317 labor rooms or operation theatres have been certified to provide quality service under Lakshya LAQSHYA Lakshya Labor Room Quality Improvement Initiative. Maternity Benefit Amendment Act. Government's new maternity policy raises the duration of paid maternity leave for women employees to 26 weeks so as to promote breastfeeding and infant care. Mental Health Care Act 2017 adopts a rights-based statutory framework for mental health in India and strengthens quality and equity in providing mental health care services to protect the rights of people having mental health problems. Further, it ensures that they receive optimal care and are able to live with respect and dignity. National AIDS Control Program. In India, HIV or AIDS was first reported in 1986. Human immunodeficiency virus and Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome Prevention and Control Act 2017 aims to end this epidemic by 2030. It also emphasizes that the people living with AIDS are not given unfair treatment at the employment or educational establishment or in providing healthcare and insurance services. In June 2016, the MHFW reiterated India's commitment at the UN high-level meeting on AIDS towards goal of ending the AIDS epidemic as a public health threat by 2030 as per the joint UN program on HIV or AIDS, UN AIDS fast track targets for 2020 and the sustainable development goals for 2030. This approach has been articulated in the national health policy and it is implemented framework or its implementation framework adopted in 2017 to be implemented by NACO, National AIDS Control Organization, through a 7-year national strategic plan on HIV/AIDS and STI sexually transmitted infection or STD sexually transmitted disease 2017 to 2024. NSP will herald the country to the midpoint of the 2030 goals. The next 7 years are therefore critical and investments made now will result in substantive gains towards ending of AIDS. NACO's vision, NACO's vision is paving the way for an AIDS-free India through attaining universal coverage of HIV prevention, treatment and care through continuum of services that are effective, inclusive, equitable and adapted to needs. The goals remain the three zeros: zero new infection, zero AIDS related deaths, and zero discrimination, forming the basis of this strategic plan. Revised National Tuberculosis Control Program. India has been engaged in tuberculosis control activities for more than 50 years, yet it continues to be India's severest health crisis. Nearly 4,80,000 Indians die of TB every year. National Strategic Plan for Tuberculosis Elimination 2017 to 2025 proposes bold strategies with commensurate resources to rapidly curb TB in the country by 2030 in line with the global End TB targets, END and TB targets, and SDG to attain TB-free India. The four strategic pillars of the TB elimination include detect, treat, prevent, and build. Detect, treat, prevent, and build DTPB. Nikshay, NIKSHAY Nikshay, a web-based TB reporting has enabled to capture or transfer individual patient data from remotest health centers in the country. Elimination of communicable diseases, action plans to eliminate leprosy by 2018, measles by 2020, and tuberculosis by 2025 are being implemented. E-health. Under the Digital India campaign, e-health initiative was launched in July 2015 with the broad aim to provide effective, economical and timely healthcare services to all individuals, especially the ones with little access to healthcare services. Affordable and quality health care for all, availability of cheaper medicines, nearly 1054 essential medicines including life-saving drugs has been brought under the price control regime after May 2014. The AMRIT, affordable medicines and reliable implants for treatment, pharmacies providing drugs for cancer and cardiovascular diseases along with cardiac implants at the 60 to 90% discount. Employees State Insurance Scheme ESIS was launched under the Employees State Insurance Act 1948 to protect health interests of the workers and their immediate dependents. It is a contributory scheme on the patterns of social health insurance. The existing wage limit to coverage under the Act is 21,000 rupees per month with effective framework 1 January 2017. Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana RSBY was launched in October 2007 by the Ministry of Labour and Employment to provide health insurance coverage for below poverty line families BPL families. Under Health Minister's discretionary grant, financial assistance up to 1,20,000 1,25,000 rupees is available under this scheme for poor indigent patients to defray a part of expenditure on hospitalization or treatment in government hospitals where free medical facilities are not available. Rashtriya Arogya Nidhi was set up in 1997 for providing financial assistance to patients from, from below poverty line families suffering from major life threatening diseases receiving medical treatment in government hospitals. National Organ Transplant Program, Apex Label National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization NOTO, NOTTO, Apex Label National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization NOTO has been set up for establishing countrywide network of transplant and retrieval hospital and tissue banks. 5 regional organs and tissue transplantation organization ROTO, ROTTO, regional organ and tissue transplant organization. There are 5 and have been established in Tamil Nadu. 5 regional organ and tissue transplant organizations have been established in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Assam and West Bengal and Chandigarh. Drug regulation efforts. Drug regulation efforts provide risk-based classification, licensing and regulation of medical devices. National Tobacco Control Program (NTCP). National Tobacco Control Program (NTCP) from April 2016 specified health warnings on tobacco products made from prominent covering nearly 85% of the principal display area of the packs. Further, quite line number has been included in new specified health warnings with effective framework September 2018. Inclusion of BD in TaxNet. Inclusion of BD in TaxNet. BD has been kept along with tobacco products and thus fetches 28% GST as per the Global Adult Tobacco Survey 2016-17. Tobacco uses has gone down from 34.6% 2019 to 28.6% 2016-17. National Vector-Borne Disease Control Programs is one of the most comprehensive and multifaceted public health programs in the country and deals with the prevention and control of vector-borne diseases, namely malaria, dengue, chikungunya, Japanese encephalitis (JE), acute encephalitis syndrome (AES), Kala Azar or we can say Kala Azar, and filaria or filariasis. Filariasis. Ministry of Jal Shakti under the Jal Jeevan Mission aims to provide tap water to every household by 2024. Safe, accessible, high quality, people centric and integrated health services delivery system are critical to attain universal health coverage. Safe, accessible, high quality, people centered and integrated health services delivery systems are critical for attaining universal health coverage. Health service delivery systems are responsible for not only taking care of the patients but also the individual families, communities, and the population in general. While the patient centered care focuses on the individual seeking care, the patient people centered care addresses the health of masses and communities and plays a crucial role in shaping the health policies and health services. Health services delivery systems should cover the entire spectrum of care from prevention, promotion to diagnostic, rehabilitation, and palliative care as well as all other levels of care including self-care, home care, community care, primary care, long-term care, and hospital care so as to provide integrated health services throughout the life cycle. In this regard, WHO is supporting the nations in moving towards universal health coverage by improving the efficiency and effectiveness of their health service delivery systems. Balanced diet comprises a variety of foods so as to provide all the essential nutrients and non-nutrient components in adequate amounts and appropriate proportion as per the individual's needs. Nutritionally adequate and well balanced diet not only protects the individual against all forms of malnutrition but lays a sound foundation for good health and development. It also helps to prevent non communicable diseases, including diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, certain cancers, and other conditions linked to obesity. There is ample evidence which highlight with benefits of diet high in fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and grains, but low in salt, sugar, and fat, particularly in the saturated and trans fats. Inculcating healthy eating habits begin early in life, starting with breastfeeding. Educational initiatives for young children and parents further help in establishing healthy dietary patterns, which in a long run result in better educational outcomes, greater productivity, and lifelong health benefits. Here, there is a table where there is a representation of data regarding some vector borne diseases, number of cases, and deaths. Diseases here in columns disease, year, case, death, year, case, death. Here there is a representation of malaria 2016 cases are 10,87,285, death 331. 2020 cases are 29,340, death 2. Dengue year 2015 cases are 99,913, death 220. Year 2019 1,36,422 cases and death 132. Japanese encephalitis year 2014 1,661 cases, death 293. Year 2020 111 cases, death 0. Acute encephalitis syndrome AES 2014 cases 10,867, death 1,719. Year 2020 cases 1,054, death 10. Kala Azar 2014 9,241 cases, death 11. Year 2020 700 cases, 0 death. Healthy eating habit, appropriate physical activity, and sound lifestyle practices should be an integral part of our day to day life so that we can reap the benefits of good health. Contrarily, unhealthy diets coupled with lack of physical activity and substance abuse, alcohol, tobacco, and drugs are some of the leading causes of for global health risk. However, there are many situations when healthy diet may become inaccessible, particularly in low and middle income countries as well as in conditions of food and nutrition insecurity. Globally, an estimated 2 billion people lack access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. Rapid unplanned urbanization, changing lifestyle, and proliferation of highly processed foods have diverted more people towards unhealthy diets high in energy, fats, simple sugars, empty calories, and salt. Through the basic principles of healthy eating remain the same for everyone. However, their diet may differ depending on nutritional needs of the individual, locally available or seasonal foods, dietary customs, and cultural norms and other factors. In broader terms, there should be a balance between dietary energy intake and energy expenditure, and the diet should be adequate in proteins, health promoting fats, omega 3 and omega 6 fatty acids, and with minimal trans fats, and important vitamins, minerals, dietary fibers, antioxidants, and phytochemicals. There should be enough emphasis on the inclusion of fresh fruits and vegetables in the diet. WHO recommends limiting sodium intake to less than 2 gram per day, equivalent to 5 grams salt, reducing sugar to less than 10% ideally 5% to support the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and 2016 to 2025 UN Decade of Action on Nutrition. WHO works with member states and partners free from malnutrition. The SDG self the SDG self-development goals provide a bold and ambitious agenda for the coming future. Every human being is the author of its own health and disease, Lord Buddha says. WHO's core mission is to promote health. In addition to keeping the world safe and serving the vulnerable, it works to ensure healthy lives and promote well being for all at all ages, leaving none behind. It targets 1 billion more people to enjoy better health and well being by 2023. All the above legislatures or act, policies, and programs implemented in India help in strengthening health security of our masses. The Self Development Goal or Sustainable Development Goal SDGs, as well as the recommendation by WHO and other UN bodies, provide the needed guidance and support to achieve India's target of a healthy, happy, and empowered nation. Sarva Bandhatva, Sarva Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashit Dukh Bhag Bhave. Dr. Santosh Jain Pasi is public health nutrition consultant and former director Institute of Home Economics, University of Delhi. Akansha Jain is assistant professor food and nutrition, Bhagini Nivedita College, University of Delhi. Thank you very much.